We're not going to do anything illegal.
All right, I can hear, so that's working. Let's update the overlays. We do have Audrey on the left, this time on Esper control. And on the right, we have Maverick. That would be Stress Daddy.
Trigger. 1, 2, 3.
Keep it. Keep 2.
Okay, sounds like both players have kept 7, and we are ready to go.
I'll start with
Turn 1, Ponder. Very nice. Great start to the stream. Audrey is in the chat. Harry Houdini voted for a different match for the poll. So Harry maybe left. I don't know. I don't even know if Harry's still here hanging out with us in the chat.
I'll put the planar nexus and I'll attempt.
Okay, turn 1, Savannah and Birds of Paradise. Harry Houdini says I left. Audrey says this is a Pokepile style of Esper. Wow.
It's a polluted delta. Okay. Cool.
That was a polluted delta for those of you that don't have all the Zendikar expeditions memorized like you were supposed to. Ramalito, thank you for the So with Prime. 12 months. That's a 1-year badge. You did it. Harry Houdini, thank you for gifting a sub as well. I missed that. Thank you, Harry.
Older version.
Psychic Frog, everybody. Psychic Frog. Are you crying yet?
It's a new card. Yeah. Well, I just mean the feeling dead.
Raise your hand if you're crying right now that a Psychic Frog is at the battlefield. Some of you are hysterical. Sylvan Library. It's getting forced. Pitching Murktide.
You got a bird. Do it up.
Green Sun for 0.
Okay, Green Sun for 0. We will be looking for Dryad Arbor. There is unfortunately no other option. Thanks a lot, Wizards. Chronomaton says, I've already seen my therapist twice for this, Chris. Yeah. Yeah. There's Dryad Arbor.
My turn.
Psychic Frog entering the red zone. Gets in there. Draw a card. If you've been playing Legacy recently, you're aware how powerful the frog is. Card is legit. Wasteland on Savannah. That'll slow things down a little bit. Birds of Paradise can still provide mana of any color, so not cut off of white. Dryad Arbor no longer summoning sick, can tap for mana. So Stress Daddy has been ramping a bit, but Wasteland still... Okay, Urza's Saga. That's a thing. Audrey punished for not respecting Urza's Saga out of the out of the Maverick deck here, maybe.
Yeah, I'm
A lot of comparison from Psychic Frog to Dreadhorde Arcanist. I say unban the Dreadhorde, folks. Who's with me? Who's with me? And unban Expressive Iteration. Let's cut the crap already. Sick of this crap. Here's Endurance. Does its job. Shadow Spear. Shadow Spear is unfortunately dazed. Thrown in the trash. What was the last card unbanned in Legacy? That would be Mind's Desire. And the Storm mechanic. What a mistake that one was. They should just delete Scourge. Just delete it. Here is Tamio, Inquisitive Scholar. Brainstorm, and it will become a Planeswalker, it looks like.
Always on the side.
Tamio, the Season Scholar, Wasteland on the Urza Saga. Going pretty well for Audrey, I would say. Psychic Frog hangs back on defense, protecting Tamio. Tamio's plus ability reduces attackers' power by 1. Dryad Arbor in the wrong zone. If you brainstorm with Tamio in combat, is it removed? Yeah, if it becomes a planeswalker, it is removed from combat.
This would be 2.
Sorry?
This would be 2 damage. 2-4. 2-4.
Tap for green, tap for blue. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, going after Tamio, as we would expect. It is a 2-power endurance right now. Psychic Frog has the option to block. Tamio could also possibly just absorb this hit. It has 4 loyalty at the moment. That might be the right move. Depends. All right, so Tamio takes 2. What next? Punishing Fire. Okay. Okay. I dig it. Tamio down. Punishing Fire, folks. Psychic Frog sticking around. The attack by Psychic Frog this turn seems somewhat likely, I would say. Try and draw that card. There it is.
You have to set something to be able to target Nadu. This is 2.
Jiggy with a question for smart people in chat. Can you break the ice at Gemstone Caverns with a low counter on it? That seems like a question for the 90s MTG Discord. We do have level 7 and higher judges in there. And this is a huge achievement for us all. We hit 4,000 Discord members in the past week. Not many Magic the Gathering Discord servers have 4,000 members. So we are big time. Wow.
I thought you were on Nadu or something.
Sylvan Library stuff happening. 4 mana. Okay, Green Sun X is 3. Oof, gets dazed. All right. So 2 Psychic Frogs now, an Endurance on defense, which complicates things a little bit. Audrey may have to decide to discard some cards here. Looks like 3 cards in hand, if I'm not mistaken.
Get out. They lead on like never goes to Delver.
2 frogs coming in hot.
I'll block one.
Okay, there's been a block with Endurance. There hasn't been any kind of visual reference to it, but it was said out loud. Discarding an Underground Sea. Discarding a Force of Will and discarding a Murktide. Endurance will die in combat. 1 Psychic Frog gets through for a damage and a draw. Not looking good for Strass Daddy at the moment, who's resolving a Sylvan Library trigger now.
Yeah, I'll scoop.
Yeah, I'll scoop too, I think. Game 1 goes to Audrey on Esper. All right, shuffling up here, sideboarding all of it for Game 2. Strass Daddy will be on the play. This Maverick deck, a little bit different from the one I've been playing recently. If you're interested in my deck list, it's posted in our Discord server. But this one has Urza Saga, Punishing Fire. It's interesting. Getting some hellos from Brazil in the chat. We do have a lot of viewers in Brazil, and I appreciate all of them. Grafdigger's Cage. That's pretty good against Green Sun Zenith.
Lush. Yep. You learn something new.
Okay, we're going to Lush Portico and Surveil here, says Strass Daddy.
Just counter everything.
Everything is broken. I'll respond.
Surveil, everybody. Let's waste more time.
I'll keep that there. Tiger? Sure.
Okay, Karlov. What the hell am I saying? Sylvan Library. I said Karlov Manor. What am I talking about? Oh, maybe the Surveil lands are on my mind, subconsciously.
Oh, then yeah.
All right, cracking this polluted delta, looking for a land. If it's a Surveil land, I think we're gonna end the stream. Thank goodness.
Ready, let's do it.
I played my
All right, there it is, Psychic Frog. Psychic Frog might be better than Sylvan Library, folks, if you can believe it.
Four?
I feel like you test that once and you're like, this shouldn't shock every time you cast this stuff.
What is a mostradinho? I don't know that one. I don't know that word.
Kind of.
Red Elemental Blast knocks out a frog, so if you're rooting against the frog, that's good news for you. Dryad Arbor and Noble Hierarch. Okay. Retro Frame Noble Hierarch. Retro Frame.
So, sorry. Oh, wait. No, you're right. So,
Side Norna has arrived, says I hear 33 months is like a year. Let's see how long Side Norna's badge is. 33 months for Side Norna. That's a long time, Side Norna. Side Norna has been with us for a long time, folks.
cast a colorless spell.
Thank you for the resale with Prime, Side Norna. Appreciate it.
Things, but since it's only one. But if I cast it out,
Oh my God, we're so far from our sub goal right now. Oh God.
one enters, ping you. Creature enters, ping you. So if I cast a chalice, it will pick only once more.
So it is broken. It's what I thought.
It is.
There's Urza Saga. Is Urza Saga on the watch list? Does anybody know? What's on the watch list right now? All right, Swords of Plowshares hits another frog, so the people cheering against the frogs are happy.
Future burn is ever played.
Yeah. It's really good.
Sure.
Sylvan Library, number 2. Attacking with Dryad Arbor. Gets in there with an Exalted. Polluted Delta Correct. Oh no, is this what I think it's going to be?
100%.
I mean, I'll tick down.
Like accidentally ramps me to like.
That's a Tundra, okay. Side Norna says you do not need a sub goal, you need a oh boy. Side Norna, let's calm down.
7 colorless floating. I'm grabbing the last card. And then I'm going to play it with 1 colorless floating.
Go ahead.
I'm going to take that colorless. I'm going to take here.
That's supposed to.
Wrath of the Skies, X's 2.
And then I'll pay 2
Creatures, artifacts, and enchantments. So everything but your 2 lands.
It's Saga too.
Yeah, it doesn't say non-lands. It also gives the giant.
This is a pretty epic Wrath of the Skies. Clears Strass Daddy's almost entire board of everything. Creatures, artifacts, and enchantments are destroyed, so Urza Saga blows up. Here's a replacement Urza Saga, but that hurt. What was that, like a 9 for 1? Green Sun Zenith, X is 2, it will resolve. Scavenging Ooze, okay.
Why did I play the second Sylvan? like playing around a brazen borrower or something.
Yeah, Strass Daddy commenting, why did I cast a second Sylvan Library? It seemed like a good idea at the time, but he forgot about Wrath of the Skies as a possibility, I guess. Magic Ads has arrived and gifted a sub. 71 now on the channel for Magic Ads. Appreciate it. Okay, Wasteland attacks Urza Saga. Another Urza Saga enters the trash. Ponder. That Wrath of the Skies was absolutely brutal for sure. It's going to be hard to recover from that for Strass Daddy here. Attacking for 2. Bajuka Bog. All right, that exiles Audrey's graveyard.
I guess that puts it
Brainstorm. Signorna says Urza Saga is a card that will only get better over time and means that either the card will be broken sooner or later, or they have to limit all 0 or 1 drop artifacts. I don't know. Alright, so an activation of the use here. Lush Portico gets shot down. Clears out Audrey's graveyard. Vexing Bauble, okay. Scavenging Ooze attacks. Triumph of St. Catherine off the top as a miracle.
Yeah.
Okay, thinking about cracking this. Yep, crack Vexing Bauble. Doesn't really need that right now. Needs some cards. Fetching with Wooded Foothills. Triumph of St. Catherine's going to be a problem. There's a Savannah.
And then this will resolve.
Well, it's like you're triggered
Okay, so 3/3 Scavenging Ooze will stay back on defense. No attacks this time. Fetching with Flooded Strand. And there it is, everybody. You got a frickin' Surveil. Undercity Sewers.
Oh, yeah, right. I just wanted to do that.
How much of our lives are we wasting right now surveilling? Does anybody know?
45, 1 land, no good.
Yeah, they'll turn 2 rainbows.
Alright, Surveil leaves the card on top. Triumph of St. Catherine may try to get in an attack here. We'll see. Swords on the Scavenging Ooze. Looks like there's a response of just exiling the rest of the graveyard. Dom V in the chat. I haven't seen my kids in years. I've been so busy surveilling. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. All right, One Step Teeth gets cracked. What are we looking for? Plateau. Wow.
It just goes to the top, right? Second main.
Caracas, not very useful. Here's a Knight of the Reliquary. Looks like it resolves. It's probably pretty big here.
7, 8.
Phil just realized Flesh Shaker is super broken.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
So it looks like it's a 10-10 Night of the Reliquary. I believe they counted 8 lands in Strandstaddy's grave. That's gonna be a problem for Audrey.
Long goodbye.
Ah, long goodbye, removal spell, and the night is gone. Attack with Triumph of St. Catherine. Strandstaddy will drop to 2. Another night. Okay, okay. Not too bad. Ah, prismatic ending and a GG handshake. That is the match. Audrey gets it. Audrey gets it. Wow. Oh. Oh, yeah. I've actually seen a white border comet IRL that someone intentionally whiteboarded, but this is next level stuff. By the way, back when I was playing Comet in a lot of my decks, back in the pre Lord of the Rings, in the pre Fourth Ear Lingus days, this is a long time ago for some of you. I heard about some Highlander format or something banned Comet, and I could not be more disgusted that someone would do such a thing. And yeah. Screw the haters. Comet's such a great card. And a white border days. I think that's the first ever white border days, right? Yeah. Very interesting. Canadian Highlander banned it for a period of time, I was told. Well, that was a dumb thing to do, Magic Ads. Let's be honest with ourselves. It's Jay Liddy is in the chat and has some words for the people that banned Comet. I mean, how humiliating. You banned this card in your format? I mean, what are you doing? But as most of you know, these Magic players have no idea what they even want. All right, let's set up another poll for the chat. Let's set up another poll. Which match next? The options will be Painter versus Grixis Delver or Cradle Control versus Demir or Death and Taxes versus Grixis or a Nadu deck. Nadu versus 4-color control. Or sorry, I'm just trying to get as much variety as I can here in this poll. Miracles versus Dead Gael Tainted Pact. Two minutes to vote. Get your votes in. White border Uro. Seems interesting. I wish Comet had a bigger presence in Legacy these days. Fortunately, it's been reduced a bit. I had so much fun playing this card. All right, poll happening in the chat. About a minute and a half left. People are voting. People are trying to rig it. Yeah, there is a lot of white space at the bottom. I wonder if it would be cool for like people that do altars to kind of like do something with the bottom. Not sure what they would do, but I don't know. Add some flowers or something. Who knows? About 30 seconds to vote. This poll is looking pretty rigged. Almost out of time. Painter versus Grixis. Magic Ads contributed 600 channel points. Thank you, Magic Ads. Let's set this up. All right, diming in. All right, updating the overlay, resetting the score. On the left side of your screen, making his return to 90s MTG on Painter is Eddie the Inter. Eddie the Intern on the left. And on the right, we have Grixis Delver. That would be Dave Kaplan. Also, we haven't seen much recently on the channel. This should be fun. What a treat. Basic Plains and Hope of Gurapur to start the game.
Yeah.
Pass.
You have to.
I have to hit you and then sack.
Deal damage.
Target player who was dealt combat damage by it.
Yeah.
Attack.
Haven't seen Eddie the Intern on stream in a while. Crowd favorite, I would say. Hope of Gurapur shot down in combat. Urz's Saga gets played. Gets its first counter. And Ingenious Smith getting dazed. This mono white painter deck is not one you see frequently, I would say. Most painter players are playing mono red these days. But Eddie kind of put this deck on the map, I would say. In years past, if you've been with us, you've seen Eddie play this deck quite a bit on 90s MTG. It's a really cool deck.
Cards in hand?
6.
6 cards in Kaplan's hand. Urza's Saga ticks up to 2. Caracas. And Painter. Force pitching days. Okay. Neon, thank you for the sub with Prime 9 months. And Specchio, thank you for the sub with Prime 18 months. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Ponder for Dave.
This is real gaming. I'll put this in the graveyard. Probably. What are you drawing?
Urza Saga will pop on the following turn. Sometimes you'll see Eddie find Grindstone. We did not collect lists at this event, so we don't have Dave's list posted in our Discord, but maybe we can dig that up later if people ask in the Discord. Urza Saga ticks up to 3. We're going to make a construct, and then we're going to search.
I'm just gonna get and activate the Soul Guide Lantern.
Okay, we're going to get Soul Guide Lantern and then activate it to remove the graveyard, I believe is what has been announced here.
Move to combat.
Oh, wait, no. Okay, so it's just in play at exile to force a will from the yard. My mistake. So 2/2 construct. Maybe Soul Guide Lantern. Going to try and prevent a Murktide here.
This is bad. So go.
I will play Wasteland for turn. Blow up your Volcanicon. I'll cast Mox Opal. I'll pass.
Okay, just leaving Soul Guide Lantern. Force of Will revealed by Delver. It will flip into Insectile Aberration. A fetch, and in response, we are going to activate Soul Guide Lantern. Okay. So Eddie kind of counting on getting around a Murktide, I guess.
Combat? Yep.
Spellbomb. Reloads.
There's a Nile Spellbomb for Dave. There's a lot of graveyard in the main these days, with Reanimator being a top deck in the format. Insectile Aberration attacks. It has flying. Gets in a successful hit. Mox Opal currently shut off. Eddie will have to try and turn that back on. Metalcraft.
I'll attack for 2. Second main, I'll play Blades. Cast Oswald.
Okay, there is Oswald Fiddlebender. Some of you may not be familiar with Oswald Fiddlebender. Get the text up on the screen. Force pitching Murktide. So there was a Murktide in hand. Eddie managed to prevent it, I guess, but Oswald Fiddlebender is countered. That Murktide did some damage after all, I guess. All right, now Spellbomb pops. Draw a card. It is a wasteland for Dave. It could probably be held back to respect another Urza Saga, but nope, we're going to go after Caracas. Caracas down. Caracas should be in the graveyard.
There's the Saga. Yep.
Okay, there's an Urza Saga.
Cast Oswald.
And another Oswald Fiddlebender. Attack for 2. Oswald Fiddlebender, not an artifact. Not an artifact. The border can make it look a little bit like an artifact, but it is not. Insectile Aberration continues to swing away, though. Fatal Push on Oswald, not too bad.
Draw. Draw.
more mana intensive, but also it makes what? It itself is a 4/4 and then it makes 5, right?
I'll activate this. Sure.
Like it makes the
Construct.
4/4 self-grow.
Okay, making a construct now to grow the construct.
Attack you for 3. Yeah. Pass.
So 2/3/3 constructs now, plus an Urza Saga popping on the following turn could be trouble for Dave. Continuing to swing away with Insectile Aberration.
I'm gonna jump the
Draw. I'll make a construct.
Making another construct now, as Urza Saga reaches its 3rd chapter.
nine.
There are 2 non-summoning stick constructs and 1 summoning stick construct. We'll search.
Okay, now Urza Saga will search. So 3 total constructs on the battlefield, 2 are not summoning sick. Eddie points out that would be the Pokemon card with a die on it, indicating 2. Pithing.
Only Flooded Strand. Sure.
Okay, Flooded Strand shut off. Clever.
4 4s right there, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Constructs are 5/5s. Could be a swing for lethal here.
They're 6 6s, so I'm swinging 2 of them.
All right, Ancient Den turns them into 6 6s, and we swing for the kill. Game 1 goes to Eddie, the intern. Game 1 goes to Eddie. Been hanging out with Eddie long enough to know that this mono white painter deck is pretty damn good against Delver. We'll see how Game 2 plays out. I've seen plenty of matches that Eddie has played over the years that we know Eddie, and the opponent just doesn't really know what's in Eddie's deck. It definitely, me, Dave, the regulars, we know Eddie's nasty tricks, but catches a lot of people off guard with this mono white painter deck. Some people just don't even realize it's painter until it's too late. Dom V says I'm like 0-7 lifetime against Eddie with Delver. Yeah. This deck is really good against Delver. Back in the expressive iteration, Is It Delver days, Eddie was just crushing Delver players at the locals with this deck.
This is fine.
All right, 1 card on the bottom for Eddie, a multi 6. Turn 1, Dragon's Rage Channeler, Mishra's Bauble, Surveil. Looked like a Wasteland was on top of Eddie's library, so that's a known card now. Eddie will start off with Vial. Jay Liddy says, if this is the wrong version of Painter to play, I don't want to be right. An interesting announcement.
Take 1.
Okay.
Draw.
Post sideboard, we may see Meltdown from Dave Kaplan. All right, so Wasteland hits this Volk.
Respond. Swords to Plowshares.
Swords on the DRC in response to a Brainstorm. Not allowing the Surveil in case, I guess, it turns on Delirium. Eddie's a tight player. Sees like little details you'll see when you see players that are pretty good at this game. Three types currently in Dave's yard.
I think there should be phrasing on cards for instead of opponent. Opponent is me. I think it makes people too oppositional.
This is a private conversation.
I think.
All right, Dragon's Rage Channeler number 2. It's in.
Go. Well, they're spells. They're make-believe. This is not a real mother, which I am casting. Pass.
Okay, Mother of Runes. No land drop for Eddie. Looks like Eddie is holding an Esper Sentinel. And can't make out what else.
Results.
Whoop that Nick says can confirm White Painter is more poppin' than the Olympics right now. Yeah. I don't know. I think there should have been a Magic the Gathering event at the Olympics, but what do I know?
Thinking about that.
I mean, imagine watching synchronized swimming and thinking that's interesting. I mean, are these people crazy? These Olympic events are such a joke. Should be Magic the Gathering in there. Mishra's Ball will surveil, throws a Psychic Frog in the trash. Looks like Delirium is on, and we are attacking. Bobble you. Something was there. Dave saw it. We did not. Fatal Push on Mother of Runes. It's gone.
Put this in the graveyard.
Okay.
Pass.
Draw. I'll play Esper Sentinel.
Okay, Esper Sentinel. No further land drop. Eddie a little stuck here. Not looking good.
First non-creature spell. First spell.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Unbelievable. So I want to draw a card, pick up my land. Go.
There's a Psychic Frog. Hope of Gurper. It's something.
What's the text on Go for Destroy? Not like it.
Eddie at this point in the game making plays nobody is excited about, not even Eddie.
I'll attempt to block second card with Esper Sentinel.
Trying to chump Psychic Frog to prevent the draw. 3 damage from Dragon's Rage Channeler gets in. And a second Psychic Frog.
Grindstone.
Okay, there's Grindstone. One half of the combo. It's not over yet. There's a block Dragon's Rage Channeler with Hope of Gurper. Take 2, draw 2.
Okay.
Okay, Ponder Surveil. That gets the scoop. We are going to game 3. All right, Eddie will be on the play here for game 3. 1 card on the bottom, it looks like, for Dave. Thinking about it. Okay, completed the mulligan to 6. Eddie is on the play. Plains and Grindstone.
Build a dress. Stormwind? Yeah, Stormwind.
Myself.
Yep.
We're gonna planes in a mess.
You think like you have a story, memorize every magic card in existence.
I did. I actually remember. I actually did know that. I've never had it cast.
Wait,
By me or against you, but I knew it.
The Storm Drake that makes energy.
Yes.
I was the subject of a very contentious judge call involving that card during MH3 pre-release.
I'll pass.
Get a de facto judge.
Huh?
Get a de facto
Yep.
judge.
Drop. I'll play Wasteland.
Yep.
Cast Mother Runes.
Mother of Runes. It's in. Can't see what else is in Eddie's hand, but Soulguy Lantern getting cast here. Exiling Mishra's Bauble. Then a Mishra's Bauble gets cracked. Dave will look at the top card of the deck, can decide to shuffle here, and will choose that option. So didn't like the top card of the deck very much.
The Storm Drake. So you don't have to swap it with anything if they don't have any.
Just got a 3-2, bro.
Yeah.
3-2 that came.
And my opponent was like, "You can't do that. I don't have anything that you can exchange with that, so it's illegal to cast that creature."
even
So
though-
it says nothing on the creature.
Even though OG
It's illegal to
is
cast.
cast as a vanilla.
Exactly. That's the famous thing.
If your opponent says it's illegal, then I guess that's.
They thought they could put one over on anything. That's all I'm saying.
Yep, there you go.
Drop turn.
Mother of Runes, Grindstone, Soulguy Lantern. Decent start to the game for Eddie. Also has a Wasteland available for use on the following turn.
Oh, yeah, Saturday or Friday, either way.
Looks like Eddie's hand is another Grindstone, an Oswald Fiddlebender, and I can't tell what the third card is.
Yeah,
Maybe a Swords to Plowshares? Another Mishra's Bauble getting cracked here. Yeah, I think it is a Swords to Plowshares in hand. There are just too many versions of Swords to Plowshares right now, and I can't memorize them all. It's crazy. It's crazy what's going on.
It comes in play 10.
It should. Honestly, this card's been power curve for modern. I haven't seen it in a minute.
Mighty, thank you for the sub with Prime. 5 months. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you.
Oh, you don't name.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Getting close to Murktide Delve range here. Soulguy Lantern will have to keep an eye on it. Here's Psychic Frog. Pass the turn. Draw off the bauble.
Planes. Oswald Fiddlebender.
There is Oswald Fiddlebender. Mother of Runes is on. Pass the turn. Oswald Fiddlebender can help Eddie find Painter's Servant on the following turn. Something to think about.
What about if Psychic Frog was a demon?
Johnny says, is Swords the most iconic magic card outside of like Power 9? I'm not sure. Not sure. It's probably more like Soul Ring or Command Tower or something like that, if we're being honest. You can tell who's like completely out of touch when they think cards like Brainstorm, Dark Ritual, and Lightning Bolt are iconic Magic cards at this point. They're just so clearly not to most Magic players, but whatever.
And that's why.
Just one is fine.
I'll take just one.
What I should have done was, I mean, it didn't matter. What I should have done was go a little bit more aggro on helping the
Ooh, Meltdown for 1. This is pretty good here. Pretty good. That'll wipe out Grindstone and Soulguy Lantern, which Oswald Fiddlebender was hoping to use.
I'll just draw off this.
Yep.
And Grindstone will be destroyed.
What is this?
Pre-war formal wear.
That's
Okay, drew a card off Soulguy Lantern. Grindstone dies. That was a pretty good Meltdown there.
Opposed, +2/+2.
Cast Grindstone? Yes, fine.
Okay, there's another grindstone to replace. Still close to combo for Eddie. One of my favorite or least favorite, depending on your depending on how you want to look at it, things from recent years is like people so proud to play what they believe to be Magic's most complex format that rewards knowledge of the game, like Legacy. Complaining that there are just too many cards now is just it's something. I believe that was consigned to memory. Yeah, okay, so Grindstone was actually countered.
Swords to Plowshares?
Swords to Plowshares on Psychic Frog.
Cast it.
Just separate.
Move to combat. As a trigger.
In response to the trigger.
Here's a ponder for Dave.
Oh, so if you dress, but if you dress down, there's a one. No, it's just whatever you do.
There you go.
I think you dress down in response to it.
Oswald Fiddlebender and Mother Runes still live on. But Eddie has no artifacts on the battlefield right now, which hurts quite a bit.
Version of whatever creature copies with
Ponder shuffle for Dave. Oswald Fiddlebender's a nasty one. If you don't respect it, it will get you.
Yeah. It's a 0/0 Esper, yeah.
Robert's in the chat excited that Eddie is back. Yeah, Eddie is with us for a while. Psychic Frog. Wasteland.
I think we had like 5 or 6. Okay.
And no one in class. It's like, right, exactly. You play it till 1 and
It's fine just because, like,
yeah.
I was just on the list that, like, didn't play kill managers.
Waste your waste. I like that play there. I like that play.
In response. I'm gonna crack the.
Mothers?
I have dragon things in the
Pass.
Yeah, the results.
the lands are
Like, that puts a lot of pressure on your
Trimming Eddie down on mana does multiple things here. You make it harder to activate abilities and activate Grindstone. And all right, Psychic Frog jumping here. Try to combo. Looks like there's a Painter Servant in Eddie's hand. It also turns on Daze on the current board. I don't know that Dave has one. And yeah, protects Dave's own lands from Wasteland.
When it adapts.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, Eddie in this situation would waste Wasteland in order to unlock Urza Saga. That is true. All right, here's Ponder, Surveil. Wasteland into the art.
10, 11. 17. Does that not get haste?
5, 9, 10. It also has haste. So
13.
yeah.
I'm taking 13.
Yep.
And a Delver of Secrets for Dave. Okay. Okay. Swords to Plowshares. I assume targeting the frog. The frog is gone.
Yeah, I think
Do Delirium?
Sure. Sorcerer land. Bring this card up. I'm running probably like 4 or 5 times up.
Okay, swinging for 2 with Oswald Fiddlebender. That will get through. No artifacts on Eddie's board. Delver trigger. Let's see. Nope.
either drawing engineer closer or I'm losing. Untap. That's not engineered.
Oh my god.
Another Psychic Frog on the board.
Draw.
This one was probably alone.
Grindstone.
Caused so many judge calls, like, especially with both on.
Grindstone getting forced pitching Delver, Serval.
Cards don't have that
I didn't mind even the release, but I know why I saw off after this one.
You have Delirium now. I'll pass.
Yeah, I just couldn't. Game 1, I stuck my threat. Games 2 and 3,
I didn't have anything sticking in game 1. I think everything was just like dying.
when you packed me, my next card that I put back on top was explosives, and I'm like, man, I don't want this. Like, do I just not take the land? But well, that's ridiculous. Of course I'm gonna take.
It's been quite a game 3. I'm not really sure where the advantage bar is right now, but it's probably over to the right a bit. This is not over. We're seeing Psychic Frog get flying. Counterbalance, Serval.
Do you think it was too aggressive to exile Tamio right there?
You have Delirium.
No, I just.
Delirium is on. Swinging for 4 in the air.
Yeah. I figured it was like, that was a moment.
Make it 5. 5 damage gets through. Trigger the frog. Just a Pig, thank you for the sub with Prime. Just another month sub, another month of great legacy content. Thank you, Just a Pig. Couldn't do it without you and all of our other subs. Really couldn't.
Fix Kryptonite.
What? Yeah. No. It's if everyone here was playing Stamina, I think you played
Sacrifice Esper Sentinel.
Sacrificing Esper Sentinel to Oswald Fiddlebender.
I mean, this is gonna be likely a tough matchup regardless of what they're on.
Harry says he thinks Frog sees play if it doesn't draw up. Probably not. The draw is what really makes it good.
One, the frog just took over, and then just became 2 and 3. I was never.
I think I tried to kill it at least once or twice.
Yeah.
Just like, but it just ran away with the game.
This isn't activated.
Yeah, it's not a trigger
Most
ability.
really tough threats like that is
Oh,
just
search for
run
library.
away with the game. It's left unchecked. So.
Okay, searching with Oswald Fiddlebender now. What do we want? What would be good here? Etherstone Canonist is not very exciting.
What was? Oh, I'm running. Oh, that's it.
Sorry, John, how'd you get?
I lost an Maverick.
Do you think against like these decks, start bringing in Barrel Voice and just trying to go even more threat dense and just like maybe that's what I should have done.
Yeah, I think that made sense there. You didn't have enough threats.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're. Yeah.
I think I just brought in more removal. Maybe that was wrong.
I would have kept the spell bombs in for formal wear, and then I would have brought in like.
I feel like that's one card though, and if he's
Yeah, the next card from Oswald can be bridged. That's true. That's true. Fire Kraken pointing that out.
Gotcha.
tutoring for Caldra.
So, because it's an open field,
No books.
I'm playing 2 instead of snuff out and go through. I'm playing 2.
Flying Frog, discard Polluted Delta, gets in for 3. Was Eddie at 12 and then went down to 10? That might have been wrong. Maybe I looked at too soon. All right, Dragon's Rage Channeler number 2. A lot of creatures on Dave's side. The possibility of ensnaring bridge is real. All right, so playing Painter. Counterbalance trigger.
Barrel Voice and just try to be more threat dense instead of.
Well, you can get this card.
Dude, Dom, why do you play Dark Patrol? That card's terrible.
Oh,
Okay, Fatal Push on top, not too bad. There are Mother Runes on the board, though. Ah, Consigned to Memory, counter it. Painter Servant is countered. Fatal Push will go in the graveyard. With 2 Mother Runes on the battlefield, there isn't a lot to Fatal Push right now.
I'm thinking.
I don't know. It's
You
my
have
first
Delirium,
time
right?
ever.
Yeah, it's like prismatic.
Ever trying
Artifact
it, but
Sorcery.
It played. Someone played it against me. It kind of crushed me.
Yeah, except it's the amount of mana,
Yeah.
not colors.
I'm on 640.
Delver will flip into Intactile Aberration. Is this game? Looks like it's game. Eddie the intern has scoops it up. Dave gets it. GG's. GG's. Take a look at this, everybody. Oracle of the Alpha in paper. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. Let's go. This is outstanding. This is excellent. I love it. I love it. Screw the alchemy haters. Screw them. Is it tournament legal? You're going to hear all kinds of complaints about this one. I love it. Excellent. Swords to Plowshares. Brainstorm. Getting some future site frames. Excellent. I saw a post on X or a tweet or whatever the hell it's called. And Elon Musk's crappy site. So I saw a post about like Sanger Vampire, someone complaining that Sanger Vampire shouldn't have a future site plan. These people are not okay, chat. Like, enjoy your life. These cars look awesome. These cars look awesome. Some of these people are really not doing well. All right. We are going to take a 2-minute break. Don't go anywhere. More Legacy when we come back. Stay put. All right, everybody, I am back. Thanks for waiting up for me. Oracle of the Alpha. I'm so excited for this. Like, I want a copy. This is excellent. Excellent. As I was saying before our break. Let's set up another poll for Twitch chat. Mystery Booster 2 looking awesome. Which match next? The options will be. Maverick versus Grixis Delver, or Breakfast, Cephalid Breakfast versus Grixis Delver, or Maverick versus Cradle Control, or Sultai Control, Sultai Tempo, really, versus Painter, or Jeskai Energy versus Grixis Delver. A little bit of Delver in the queue. 2 minutes to vote. Get your votes in. Yeah, the Oracle of the Alpha is Acorn stamped. Great, great detail pointed out there by Fire. So it's not tournament legal, so don't buy it, right? Yeah. Look at that. I just love all of this. This set is looking so fun. Oracle of the Alpha, I'm excited about, though. Do you actually get to own the Power 9 once you cast it? Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, the Future Sight frames getting their love, finally. Getting their time in the spotlight. So cool. All right, less than a minute for the poll. People are voting right now in the chat which match we were going to watch next. Who knows what it will be? People are trying to rig it. Close poll. Almost out of time. Really close. People trying to rig this thing. Sultai versus Painter is up next. Ali contributed 4,400 channel points. Thank you for that. Let's set this up. And diving in.
Heralds, because her and Emery make an infinite mana situation. Okay. Because if you get Emery under Cauldron and a counter in Rona, you just keep playing either your Mox Opal or your Mox Amber, legend rolling them, and she keeps on tapping because a legendary keeps coming in.
All right, not sure what they're talking about, but Sultai on the left. I believe it's like a Sultai tempo. Red Painter on the right. Getting ready to go.
Oh, no, it's all good. No, we're good. You know, 4-droppers. It's all good. Surprisingly, the deck had a good scam matchup, but otherwise it was shit. Which one? It was like an Is It Soul Call.
All right, looks like Nick is taking another mulligan. I believe David has kept 7.
I only played it online. I didn't play it in person.
Show me like a soul card.
It was like so I did an Is It one, then I also did a mono blue one. I probably showed you the one
I saw with like Rona.
Yeah, I showed you a mono blue one.
Shout out to Audrey and Harry Houdini, as you see in the top left of your screen, our gift sub leader and cheerleader for the past month. What's a cheerleader, you're asking? The kind of tipping currency here on Twitch. Bits you can send with a cheer message in the chat. And Harry Houdini is our current leader on that. And Audrey gifting subs, as usual. No playmat on the right. No playmat on the right. Harry is not having it.
No, absolutely. I mean, they help you find the protection for...
Okay, looks like one card on the bottom for Nick, and we are ready to go. Looks like Nick will be on the play based on body language, is my guess.
Follow up to whatever you know.
No, actually, it's a multi 5. Okay, so multi 5 for Nick. Urza Saga pass the turn.
I feel like look when I win.
Pretty good wasteland to start the game.
Like the last replay of my life, we're gonna stifle 3 other things.
Okay, another Urza Saga. RPF has arrived in the chat with a beautiful badge. Ponder. What's up, RPF?
You got a trophy the other day. It was for the entire game is based on casting turn to Harvey. You placed three of them. It's like
Okay, Urza Saga takes up to 2, a basic mountain, and then Painter.
This?
Days on the Painter. It's countered. Tamio, Inquisitive Scholar. There's a Saga will pop, floating a mana. MTG Banding, thank you for the sub with Prime. 39 months for MTG Banding. 39. Some of our OGs are rolling into the chat. RPF, MTG Banding. MTG Banding with a founder badge. One of our I thought I was the founder. What's going on here?
To Red Blast the Tamio. No pass.
All right, Red Elemental Blast does its job, takes out Tamio. Very nice. Tamio has been seeing quite a bit of play in Legacy. There's Goblin Welder. It's a good one.
I'll pass. Insta 19. You're gonna go severe one.
3.
Can you hit him with the ground seal?
Main deck crown seal.
Amazing.
Hedge Maze Serval. RPF says may have a founder badge. MTG Banding may have a founder badge, but my sub streak is longer. Okay, talking some crap. MTG Banding says, is this competitive Legacy or casual Legacy on stream today? We don't do casual play here on 90s MTG. It's all for the highest of stakes. And it feels like, just imagine what you're watching right now is like an MTGO challenge. Like, it's crazy what goes on. All right, Dismember takes out Goblin Welder.
Forward. Hold on, push for a second.
There's some lands dropping. Another Goblin Welder. So a lot of like cards getting played over and over again and getting destroyed so far in this game. There's the Sagas, Welders. Let's see if there's an answer for this Welder. With a Bloom Command.
Use destroy this, deal 1 to this.
Yep.
Pass.
Lots of removal so far.
Draw.
Here's Uro. It's getting Power Blasted. Okay. Not sure we want to be Power Blasting Uro there. It's going to get escaped now, and that's going to be a problem. MTG Banding making a great point. Did you know that the Olympics delay broadcast of their prime events until the evening in order not to compete with 90s MTG? I do know that we are competing directly with the Olympics for everyone's time. Here's Uro. It's getting Power Blasted on the stack. Okay. Force pitching Stifle to protect Uro. Or Uro is going to be in there.
No land, pass.
There you go.
I just realized we didn't even have life totals for that game, and it barely mattered. My bad. Wow. Okay. I guess the life totals didn't really matter that much. I didn't even notice. Hopefully, people watching weren't too lost at what was going on.
Damping sphere in here or something?
No, like just Thorn. Just Thorn and I was thinking about it.
That'd be really good in that matchup. No, you do have Moon. You're right. You do have Moon.
All right. Painter will be on the play here for game 2. Lotus Petal and Goblin Welder once again. Undercity Sewers, Serval.
Serial Delta into the yard.
RPF in the chat, though, with a 4-year badge. 4-year badge. And really appreciate the support, RPF. That means a lot to me. Here's Goblin Engineer. We're looking through the library. Chaos Defiler is found.
I will pass on.
Here you go. It just feels like the battle cannon ability was such a mistake. What do you think, Chad?
Yeah.
Wait, did you?
High Train Conductor Magic Ads says RPF has a full flex with the badges for sure. Yeah. RPF has been with us a long time. Since the beginning.
That's it. There's totally
Side Norna with a great question. I have an important question for you, meaning me. Do you go with the raccoon or rat people? I'm a raccoon guy. Raccoon.
End of turn, I'm just going to do it. Weld out the Defiler and the pedal. No target.
Okay, so Chaos Defiler is in. Sacrifice the pedal. Nothing to hit with Chaos Defiler that time.
Goblin Welder?
Another Goblin Welder.
Yes.
Magic Ads with the question, mice or otters? Otters. Otters all the way.
some penguin tokens or something. Oh, I'm the worst person in the world.
Wait, hey, 18?
Oh, I surveilled that.
There you go, yeah. You gotta do that.
Oh, no.
Why are you the worst?
I forgot about this. It's so late into the game.
All right, we got live totals up and running here.
I mean, last game.
Yeah.
You can probably just delete this file. Like, I'm not gonna
Alan Delvergo says, I think New Yorkers are fascinated with raccoons because we don't have them in the city. What? New York City definitely has raccoons. I've seen them many times. I'm not even making a joke right now. The raccoons are everywhere.
People are pausing their Olympics. I know.
Pete Sheep, thank you for the resub with Prime 8 months. Is Kappa Cannoneer still on the watch list? Asking the big questions. Yeah, it probably is, you know.
In that case, I'll activate Engineer stacking Defiler.
Okay, the Hydroblast will be countered, I guess. Chaos Defiler goes into the trash.
Curious to see how it, you know, it's like
Alan Delvergo proving that they're not a real New Yorker, saying, I've never seen a raccoon before moving to PA. I promise you there are raccoons everywhere in New York City. They're all over the place. You just didn't see them. They're too smooth. They hide. Here's Uro. Or Island Delvergo didn't spend a lot of time out at night like I have. I've had a few run-ins with raccoons for sure.
top piece.
End of turn, I'll do the thing again.
Chaos Defiler will return. Lotus Petal to the trash. Swapping places.
Vexing Bomb?
I was having like a like small little barbecue with friends here in New York City in a yard. All right, Painter will get game 2. I'll continue my story in a moment.
Goblins.
Now I got Ultra Lucky, I tapped the Bobble there.
All right, players shuffling up here for game 3. David will be on the play. Sirius, thank you for the sub with Prime. 6 months, that's a new badge. Appreciate that. Drawing up hands here.
I'll keep it off.
All right, both players kept 7. I was beginning to say I had a backyard barbecue with some friends here in Queens in New York City, and bunch of raccoons, like a whole family of raccoons, babies and everything, came crawling up on a fence that was like right next to us and just like watched us have our barbecue. They had no fear whatsoever. They were just watching us. It's kind of cool, actually. We were and we were like, are they gonna attack us?
Okay, 18. Painter.
All right, here's a painter.
Yeah, there was also blue.
I promise you, Ellen Delver, there are raccoons in Casino Park. Also in Casino Park now, lanternflies. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. All right, Painter has named Blue, Tamio, Inquisitive Scholars on the battlefield. We might start seeing some clues. We'll see if David has clue tokens. Kind of don't even want to know. Let's find out.
The box.
Okay, there's a clue. SWB says, I ate a rabbit once. Oh, my goodness.
Oh no, it's artifact. You're right. Damn it.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I know. It's so stupid. The one time that's relevant.
What happened?
What makes sense here? What makes sense here? You do that. Yeah, I'll pass. Sorry. So stupid.
Don't talk that way. Your money. We'll drop it soon.
All right, David is beating himself up about something, but I'm not sure what.
Come to Red Blast and Samuel.
Ah, you tried go for the throat, but it doesn't work. Got it. Red Elemental Blast on Tamio and Brainstorm in response. I guess it happened so quick I missed it. Does David get like a warning or something then, or a like a flagrant foul? What happens now? Tamio is flipped.
No.
She's currently at 2.
Oh yeah, so I'll hit that. Second main.
Down to 1 loyalty after an attack. Here's Magus of the Moon. It's not too bad.
Yeah, it's good.
I'll pass.
All right, played a mountain and passed a turn. Like I said, the moon is going to be tough here. Tamio did plus, though, so Painter has no power. Max of the Moon could still attack for 1, though.
Yep. I'll swing a Tamio for 1, I guess.
Tamio goes down to 2. Goblin Welder. Nothing in the graveyard right now to weld. Sacking the clue. This is going to be really difficult for the Sultai deck to dig out of this moon. Plays another mountain.
Yeah.
Null Rod. Okay, that helps a little bit. That helps a little bit. Tamio will plus up to 4.
Fable.
Fable of the Mirror Breaker. That'll make a Goblin Shaman.
Yeah, Fable's good. Then I'll pass it.
No sleeve for the Goblin Shaman token. Very interesting. All right, attacking Tamio for 1. Tamio down to 3.
Oh man, those freaking flyers.
Tamio up to 5.
Yeah, the last race was so good.
Yeah.
Fable trigger.
I was actually sitting on 2 ways. And then I drew into
I'll ban
one.
this
We
mountain.
were playing bases. Like,
Yeah.
Discarding 1 card, a mountain, draw a card. Power Blast on Tamio. Tamio is down.
Move the
I felt
combat.
like if you had choke, you'd probably
Swing it for
really in
5.
probably.
Oh, they all get minus. So 2. Yep. True. Right? That's how it works.
Yeah, the -1 on power still happens here. Goblin Shaman will make a treasure.
Yeah. That's good.
The windows are just so like so small.
You gotta sleeve the Goblin Shaman, Nick. We're just not gonna be doing this, especially with no play mat. This is ridiculous.
Stabilize, I guess, getting that Delver and DRC off the board. You can drop 2 more. Yeah.
Have some respect.
Oh, at that point.
There's gotta be like I think there's I think there's like push deep sometimes like.
Reflections of Kiki Jiki on the board now. 2 treasures. Another Painter Servant.
Yeah, I need endurance or something.
Endurance for 5. I thought you had endurance for 5. That was like
I guess the other painter is no. Okay, so it's also naming blue. All right, a fist bump, and that is the match. Painter gets it. GG's. Magus of the Moon. Keith Master Flex has arrived. Audrey said we had a match where both players had no playmat last week. I left early from the LGS in disgust. I'm sorry you had to deal with that, Audrey. That sounds hard. Yeah. AP says, why bother sleeving with no playmat? I have a few old school decks that don't get sleeved. Yeah, I don't know. Some of you are out of your minds. All right, let's set up another poll for the Twitch chat. Which match next? Any archetype requests from the chat while I look through the queue? Now is the time. Options will be Jeskai Energy versus Grixis Delver. Maverick versus Grixis Delver. Cradle Control versus Blue-Black Tempo. Death and Taxes versus Blue-Black Tempo. Or Maverick versus Cradle Control. 2 minutes. Get your votes in. Get your votes in. Is the poll working? Oh, yeah, it appears to be working. Okay. I don't see it up on our screen here. Is it not working? I don't see any results coming in. Did I just type all that out for nothing? Okay, I see a few people have voted. Maybe it's a refresh situation. Unfortunately, Twitch kind of crashed the poll just now. It might be a refresh kind of situation. All right, several people are voting. I don't know how. I can't even see the results unless I look on another screen. So apologies for that, everybody. Oh, shoot. The freaking art from Vanguard. This is so damn good. Oh, I love that. The Vanguard art, folks. Does anybody even know what I'm talking about? There's going to be a bunch of them? That's so good. That's so good. Nostalgia AF. All right. We are out of time on the poll, and Mr. Varga contributed 600 channel points. Thank you, Varga. Jeskai versus Grixis is up next. Apologies to everybody that couldn't see the poll. There wasn't much I could do about it. All right, let's set up this next match. Diving in. On the left side of your screen, we have Jeskai Energy. That would be Ryan. And on the right, we have Grixis. That would be Herman.
I'm on a gyro heater. Check my time. You can sign inside the memory my whatever.
All right, looks like we're ready to go. A flooded strand gets cracked, and Ponder on turn one.
Yeah. Alright, I want you to scan me so hard that I just like storm out of the door. I hope that happens. Ruthless from you. Good luck.
Thank you, whoever picked up a couple of t-shirts. Appreciate that. Was anonymous. There's Delver of Secrets.
Keep. Yep.
Another Ponder resolving here for Ryan.
Cycle? Yep.
Mystic Sanctuary enters tapped. Delver trigger, no flip.
100. Merfolk.
Psychic Frog. Getting forced. Pitching Spell Pierce. Herman's going to protect it with force pitching Ponder. Prioritizing getting the Psychic Frog up and running. It's a Brainstorm for Ryan.
Is it Force of Will? What? No, I thought you said Force of Will.
No.
Oh.
I said yeah. Sorry.
I was okay.
Prismatic Vista getting cracked. Basic Planes.
You got it. Hateful.
There's something satisfying for me about the heavy on basics control decks in Legacy. I just like it. Here's another brainstorm.
Yeah. Done nothing but.
Just thinking a lot. Thinking a lot.
Thinking a lot, exactly.
And
Any response?
or still inside?
Yeah, just kind of fetch.
Yeah.
Might as well play around.
Yeah.
I'll go to Swamp Cast.
All right, Psychic Frog has lasted this long. Delver has not flipped. Misty Rainforest. Maybe Psychic Frog will get Herman a card. And we screwed up the life totals.
On there.
2 fun.
Trigger.
Sinorna says, this just in, Chris B likes basic decks. Yeah. I'm a basic. You know what I said. All right, Flooded Strand. Teferi Time Raveler.
I'm going to 16, actually.
Oh, you're right. That was the fetch.
Yep. Brainstorm trigger. Zabomb.
Surveil a Psychic Frog into the graveyard. No respect for the frog, Herman.
15. And trigger.
There's a Teferi on the stack. Looks like Herman's holding a bolt, which could help the situation. Get rid of Teferi at some point. Teferi's going to be bouncing Psychic Frog here. And then we're going to fetch a basic Plains.
Frogger. Now up. Just past you.
Enjoy your card. Tap. Keep. Drop. Yep.
End step cracking Misty Rainforest. For anybody new around here too, it's worth noting that both Ryan and Herman are regulars at the top table at New York City Magic events. No matter the format, these players are always at the top of the standings. We've seen Herman somewhat new back to or trying Legacy for the first time. It's been joked about earlier on this year that Herman could be the rookie of the year for this year or something like that. I don't know how long Ryan is playing Legacy for, but it might not be maybe just a couple of years. I'm trying to think now. Have I seen Ryan play? I don't know. Anyway, both of these players have crushed me in Modern and Pioneer, Standard, whatever. They're all over the place with formats. Talented players, so it's kind of a treat to see them face off in Legacy.
Super, I'm going to snap custom.
I have memories for some reason come to mind of playing against Ryan a whole bunch in Standard when Amonkhet was legal. And just having some epic battles, I would say. Yeah.
Both of them.
All right, Teferi down, getting attacked by 2 creatures. And Herman I used to see in the finals at FNM draft in the pre-pandemic times. All right, Wrath of the Skies. X is 2.
Sure, okay, that's fine.
Jay Liddy with a question, does Herman play Pauper? The thing is, Jay Liddy, nobody plays Pauper, so the answer is no. The answer is no. That's the thing. Double Days counters the Wrath of the Skies. All right, so managed to save all the creatures on the board. That was a pretty good turn for Herman. Aviator says I have Pauper decks, but also don't play. Yeah. Pauper's like a thing where you like get the decks and it seems like a good idea at the time and then you realize why'd I do that? They sit on a shelf.
You're at 10, right?
Yep.
2 cards.
Pyroblast on Teferi. Spell Pierce on that. We're going to resolve the Surveil now. Flooded Strand in the yard. Pyroblast is countered. Teferi, it looks like, is in. Probably won't last too long, just like the last Teferi.
Yep. Trigger.
All right, SWB plugging the Brooklyn Strategist Pauper every Saturday. Yeah. All right, 8 to 12 people, not too bad.
Creature, sorcery, instant, creature, land.
Have you ever seen Jeskai John by any chance playing Pauper? Anybody?
Days.
Jeskai John claims he plays Pauper, but nobody believes it.
Reanimate. Days reanimate. Wasteland. Second frog. Put these at the bottom. Yep.
I'm gonna dump it on your dragon.
Prismatic Ending takes out Dragon's Ray's Channeler. It's gone.
With 10, right? Yeah. I'll then try to reanimate the Greek.
Yes. Reanimate Greek. This is what flying vigilance definitely.
Does Jeskai John play Demir and Pauper too? Asking the right questions is SW. All right, here's a Psychic Frog. And it looks like Ryan has scooped it up. Herman gets game 1.
Past you.
That Wrath of the Sky is getting double days was a turning point in that game, I felt like.
I'll try to ending your frog X1. In response, I will discard Traxo. Yep.
Herman dropping cards on the floor, a little bit sketchy. All right, Ponder.
Thinking. Now, will it yield anything? Is the real question.
My thoughts. Not that good.
Pondering the orbs.
10, drop. Yep. Go. I'm gonna Greek pitching troll costume. Swords, bird.
Start off. Same as last time as well.
I'll take the.
Sinorna says, I hear NYC rats are learning to play MTG. Yeah, possibly, especially after Bloomborough. Is Bloomborough the best standard set in a while? Does anybody know? Can someone like check some kind of a spreadsheet and tell us?
Trigger. Sorcery, creature, enchantment.
Lightning Bolt revealed. Insectile Aberration is online.
Alright, definitely taking an animate and entomb. I have to take a frog also.
Okay.
I'll take a C, and I'll take reanimate.
Okay, Dragon's Rage Channeler.
Ready the bottom.
Looks like it's getting responded to by a brainstorm. Harry Houdini with a great question. Is standard the same as Type 2? Yeah. My Type 2 deck of choice was Blue-Green Madness back in the day. I used to go to Neutral Ground here in New York City and play against legends of the game that I didn't even know were legends at the time.
You're also at one, so you can't force.
I remember getting absolutely crushed by Brian David Marshall with my Blue-Green Madness deck.
I agree with that. That was incredible discipline on my end. It was actually insane.
Swords to Plowshares on Insectile Aberration. It's gone.
He's at 3, and I can't cast it right now. Yeah.
Yeah, so far in this match, we haven't seen Ryan accumulate any energy. He tried to fire off a Wrath of the Skies last game, but it got double dazed, which was interesting. If you were paying attention, Adam, you would have seen that.
You know about.
Yeah, no, I think we got it. You got Entomb and we did. Yeah.
It looks like also, since Twitch chat is talking about standard and Type 2 right now, Standard's undergoing its own transformation right now. I mean, the foundation set coming out of... Okay, Serval accidentally revealed a card, but it's thrown in the trash anyway. The foundation set coming out, it'll be the backbone of Standard, or the foundation of Standard, for I think they said 5 years. Is that right? And then Standard now is 3 years worth of cards rather than 2. All right, here's Flage.
Already gave me so much advantage in the second one.
Gets dazed.
Yeah, for sure.
Sounds like more than me.
Titan of Fire's Fury, Flage. The Lightning Helix God.
I just don't have a fast clock. And I was so happy when I found the bomb, but you...
Yeah, Keith Masterflex saying Foundations is interesting. It is interesting. It is interesting. I like what I've seen of it so far. It seems like a cool idea. Kind of having this entry to 1v1 portally thing, kind of get people into Standard, and hopefully it's full of cards relevant for multiple formats. Wrath of the Skies X is 1.
Not you does not do it, but
I'll go upstairs and response triggers.
Lightning bolts, taking advantage of the 2 Serval triggers. Going to leave 1 on top. The bolt gets through. The Dragon's Rage Channelers die, and the energy is used up. Here's Ponder.
I tried my best to sword zero. Solitude.
Yeah, the mana base is guaranteed for 5 years is interesting. That is true. Good point by Keith Masterflex.
It has split early.
I've also seen some takes come in on the Twitters and the Reddits or whatever about like the commander products within these like standard sets or whatever, and you know they just have so many commander players, and trying to get those people interested in the 1v1 play is probably on the agenda. And I think they should do exactly that. Just add, like they did with Modern Horizons, just add commander products to stuff and start blending the community a bit more. Rather than having these 2 separate communities of people that play Modern and hate Commander, and then people that play Commander and hate Modern. Let's blend together, everybody. Let's everybody get along. Let's have fun.
Yeah,
One of the things I've least liked about, you know, being in the Legacy community in recent years and having to read people's like tweets or whatever is just this attitude some people have where it's like, get your Commander cards out of my game, and it's like, you're never gonna get it. You're never gonna get it. Unholy Heat targeting this Flage. Delirium is on. Force pitching back to basics. Trying to protect Flage here. Flage will be hard to kill. Pyroblast on the Force. This is a big fight over Flage. Flage could also escape again soon, so this may be just a temporary fix for Herman. So it looks like the Pyroblast has worked. Unholy Heat has taken out Flage. Cutting the decks, the whole thing. Herman wants to get that Flage out of the graveyard if possible here. All right, waste on the Tundra. That cuts off double white, which is super relevant right now. But a Prismatic Vista will find it. And it looks like Flage is going to be back right away. Flage is in. It's on the board. It's going to be difficult to remove. And it's going to be a really fast clock.
that can beat some hands, but won't beat most hands.
Herman will scoop it up or resolve Flage too much. Moving on to game 3.
Did not draw dragon.
Yeah, that was, you need dragon, then it's like...
Okay. All right, Herman on the play here for game 3. Got crushed by Flage in game 2. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Prismatic Vista passed a turn.
Sorry, I want to see what we're...
Basic Island for Ryan.
19 all.
You're 18? Nah, never dates. We're tuning. We're tuning. Tuning up. Yeah.
Tune the narrative. Getting some energy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. You're tuned up.
New card from MH3. It's a neat one. And the energy reserve is out.
One ball.
Now we're talking energy, folks. We're doing it. There's the Psychic Frog once again. Nothing Wrath of the Skies can't handle. Or a Swords, or a Prismatic Ending. Ryan has answers.
Yep. Four. Yeah, it's good. Fantastic. Draw, play this. Wasteland. Yep. Okay. Swords are card.
I'll keep.
I'll discard Archonic Realtor. Okay. Swords is good. I get 2 life.
20.
I'm at 2.
Okay, attacking for 2. Psychic Frog will get to draw a card this time.
Go. Cycle good.
There are 2 energy counters on Ryan already. A Wrath of the Skies here could wipe out the team. There's Wrath of the Skies. X is 0.
Fire brainstorm now.
Yep.
X is 0, but 2 energy in the reserve.
I don't know when I pay. Do I pay?
You pay on resolution. It's kind of like, I guess, I think you should like treat it like, or like galvanic or all that stuff.
Yeah, so the energy will be used on resolution, not before it resolves. All right, Bolt you, Surveil. Wasteland into the yard. Bolt is fine. Wrath of the Skies will clear out all the energy. Psychic Frog, Dragon's Rage Channeler, defeated for now. Bowmaster getting flashed in, though. Orcish Bowmaster. Remember this card? Is it still on the watch list? Does anybody know? Can someone check the watch list? It's important stuff. All right, attacking for 2. Ryan goes down to 9. Orcish Bowmaster, as most of you know, pretty good against the cantrip stuff. Another Psychic Frog. It's going to take a little bit of effort here to clear the board again without the tune the narrative in advance. Here's to Ferry. Teferi is in. I believe Ryan has a Swords to Plowshares in hand. We're going to plus Teferi up to 5 and pass the turn.
So you're at 19.
So we're going to make Herman commit to some attacks here. And then likely fire off Swords to Plowshares that won't be able to be responded to. That's my guess.
ETB, tray on the stack. Yep. Oh.
Everybody's coming after Teferi. No blocks. Discard a card.
Yep. 27. I take 3. I'm at 14. I draw a card.
Could discard another card to try and present lethal to Teferi here.
No. Okay. Brainstorm is good.
Discarding Wasteland. Swords on the Psychic Frog. Not sure if that was meant to be in response. But Teferi takes 2, Teferi down to 3. Here's a Dragon's Rage Channeler.
That just changes the card I'm putting in my hand.
Plus Teferi up to 4. Basic Mountain pass the turn. Now what's scary here is the possibility of a Wrath of the Skies at instant speed. Don't know if there's one in hand. Looks like there's a 4th-year Lingus in hand, which could be interesting here.
Sounds good. That's good.
Ponder Cervelle. Left it on top. There's a Bolt. I saw a Bolt. I think I just spotted a Wrath of the Skies in Ryan's hand, actually, so this could be a pretty big turn for Ryan. Gonna make Herman commit the attackers first, it looks like.
At you. All wasteland or white sword?
All at you.
For the white 16. Combat?
Okay, before that. And I'll take my damage.
Wrath of the Skies. X is 2. Gonna use up the 2 energy. Wipe the board. Bowmaster, Dragon's Rage Channeler, Orc Army, all gone. It's pretty good. Alright, here's a Ponder at instant speed. Looks like there's a Pyroblast and a Duel in the mix.
21 to 10. That's it.
Plus Teferi up to 5. 4th-year Lingus. That is the match. Ryan gets it for Rohan. GG's. GG's. And Teferi plus Wrath of the Skies look particularly mean, folks. Maybe a preview of what's to come in the post-grief metagame, if that is where we end up. Wow. Teferi has a messed up card, says SMC. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's set up another poll for the Twitch chat, shall we? Any requests for archetypes? Now is the time. Looks like the poll feature is giving me a hard time now. Let's see if I could try it again after refresh. Try and set up this poll. We will be live again tomorrow at our usual Wednesday stream. All right, looks like the poll is working for me. Hopefully it will for all of you this time. The options will be Bant, Nadu versus 4-color control, or Reanimator versus Cloud Post, or Death and Taxes versus Grixis Delver, or Miracles versus Mono Black, Aggro, or Eldrazi versus Jeskai Control. Two minutes. Get your votes in. 2 minutes to vote. Our Discord is up on your screen. Join our Discord if you're not in our Discord. This is excellent. Mystery Booster 2 looking like a lot of fun. I'm going to have to like pick up some singles from this set for sure. And I'm going to need one of these. This is so good. I'm such a fan of Oracle of the Alpha. I think it's such a cool card. All right, about a minute left. Get your votes in the chat. Oh, by the way, if you don't get 100% on these expansion symbol quizzes, you're not allowed to complain that there are too many expansion symbols on each edition of cards now. You're not allowed. You have to get 100% on these quizzes. Just want to put that announcement out there. If you get, look, if you get this, like a bunch of wrong answers, I don't want to hear anything from you about expansion symbols, okay? Just shut the hell up. Why does Thunder Junction have... I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Get 100% or shut up. There, we said it. All right, 1230 Gaming contributed 1,400 channel points. We're headed over to Bant Nadu versus 4-Color Control. Let's do it. Let's do it. This should be interesting. Diving in.
But I would know you're lying. I did really well. He just missed on Cool, I'm Steven. I don't think we met. Oh, Luis, nice to meet you.
All right, on the left side of your screen, we have Luis with Bant Nadu, and on the right, we have, I believe, 4-Color Control. That would be Steven.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. Like telling people who you voted for.
Yeah.
Sounds like people are laughing.
Yeah. I'm just joking around.
I think a lot of people that are in this room were there. You.
Yeah, no, I know. There's plenty of people. You can't let a few people.
There are dozens of us.
Yeah.
Dozens. High roll. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, you want a high roll?
Sure.
All right, resolving die rolls. Okay, I'm not even sure who won. I missed what the numbers were. But somebody won.
Good luck. For you, sir?
Thank you. So do you still play?
Like construct. Well, I don't play. I play like a bunch of.
Okay, it looks like Luis is taking a mulligan. Steven is checking the ledger.
That's basically.
Gotcha. Did you want to cut? No. Okay. I'll try it.
I will as well. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. I'm gonna go.
I'm not sure either. I'm really not sure.
Quite a shuffling technique happening right now. Quite a shuffling technique.
Got it.
Try it.
Yeah, attach for.
There you go. Is that who you're going after?
White sleeves. Oh God.
Yeah, welcome back to Legacy. He's non-land or any.
That's
card.
right. When he said I apologize, I wanted to say like I apologize. Yeah. But then again, this deck had just crapped the bed. So.
All right, one card on the bottom for Luis. Looks like we're ready to go. And.
I'm trying to think if I take it.
Xander's Lounge past the turn.
This pedal? Super greedy.
Hedge maze. Trigger.
And Hedge Maze. Wow, what has Legacy become, everybody? Starting the game with 2 ETB tapped lands. on both sides. Wow.
You know I don't have any touch.
Pass.
You have to just hire when you're pitch here.
Yeah.
Take the picture out of this.
Okay, that's a good one too.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
This is a weird.
Ponder is in. 1230 Gaming, thank you for the resub. 19 months. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, we're going to throw the saga.
Yeah.
Yeah, if only we had someone willing to play Moon Stompy in New York City. Maybe they would crush all of these events.
So I'm going to do this one first and look at a card in your hand. I'll look at that one.
Hype Train Conductor Magic adds a fan of the white sleeves, it seems.
Top card of your library, which I know what that is. And I will pass it on to you. And
I don't know if I remember.
Draw 2 cards.
Draw.
Are the white sleeves like half price or something? Like what? What?
I have 2 Emeries in my hand. I'm going to pick these up.
Yeah.
Save a few bucks, get the white sleeves?
Brainstorm?
That's fine.
All right, now a hedge maze for Steven. Another ETB tap land. And we might be here all day. I don't know.
Play this. Play Ponder.
Yep, it's fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. I need blue mana.
I need stuff. I guess it's stuff.
Okay, the way I think this works is I draw first, and then this happens.
Yep.
And, okay. I am going to throw the cavern.
Sure.
Cavern name is Wizard.
So much shuffling. Yeah, a lot of shuffling, a lot of looking at cards.
I'm going to...
All right, this is going to be a long game, it looks like. Another Ponder for Steven this time. And drawing a card.
Mana. Try to throw the Soul Guide.
You got it.
I'm going to get the brand, or no, what's in the graveyard now? One of the Griefs, I guess. Sure. Then I feel like maybe I have...
The Elo bot with a great question. When was the last time best sleeves were discussed here, and should it be now? Yeah, what are the best sleeves right now? How's everybody feeling? I think we talked about it a couple of months ago. We get some pretty consistent answers on what the best sleeves are, but let us know if you have a take on that. Here's Teferi Time Raveler.
Okay.
This even look good right now? I don't know. Just make you use it.
I'm sure you have...
Okay, Days returning a hedge maze.
I'm just wondering about that. I'll target Patrick.
Are you targeting Patchwork?
Yeah.
I'm going to let you do that.
I'll go to 18. Pass to
Okay. I'm going to think about... Let me go to my draw... Do I want to do that at the end of your turn?
Murktide Regent. Possibly on the watch list. We don't really know. It looks like it's a 6/6. Wasting Savannah.
And so I'm going to draw my draw step. And I'm going to look at my stuff before I fetch.
Adam Combat, thank you for the sub with Prime 14 months. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's going all right. It's going all right. Been better, you know. They just released another Magic set. And I'm going to talk your ear off about how depressed I am about the direction things are going with Magic. And I remember back when it was really good, back in the pre-war times. We used to have a decent format to play. The play patterns were better, and yeah.
TC Gristlebrand. It's not a bad one too.
Although once you activate it once, I think I'm dead anyway. So. Okay.
Springheart and Tuco is in.
And I have one generic. You got it. I'm going to throw a Mox. I'm going to throw the Shadow Spear with the generic.
Yeah.
And
Urza Saga, Landfall Trigger, make an insect.
And throw the Emery.
Yep.
I'm going to mill 4 cards. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. And you choose target artifact. You may cast that card at this time. So a tap is a cast. And I have Metalcraft now. And 1, 2, 3. But that's it. So unfortunately, I'm done.
We're going to attack.
Yeah. No blocks.
Yavamaya, make an insect.
And I'll attack for 2.
Tap this. Cycle Troll.
Okay, that's the troll that swamp cycles. Is that what he is? Okay, he's in the yard.
This.
Okay, I guess I had life totals wrong, and is now 14 to 16. Sorry about that, folks.
Well,
6/6 Murktide. It's going to attack.
Alright, I'm going to go to my draw step. Goodness here. Alright, so target artifact in my graveyard. I'm going to cast that this turn.
Yep.
I'm going to tap it.
Yeah.
And yeah, Hype Train Conductor Magic Ads pointing out my mug. It's the fancy pottery mug today. From Helen Levy in Queens, New York.
Thoughtcast for 1 blue off the Mox to draw 2.
Sirius says thoughts on triple sleeving. I think if you're like I don't know. It's not for me.
5, 6. That's not enough.
It's too much.
Not enough. Sure.
Audrey says if you play lands, it's a must. Yeah, you got to protect that tabernacle. That's true.
What am I doing? What am I doing?
All right, there's a construct getting created by Urza Saga. Urza Saga is about to tick up to 3.
That takes a blue mana to activate. This takes generic.
Mystic Sanctuary put a Swords to Plowshares on top. Floating a mana.
Yeah, my trigger for this one.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't say it. So,
That's all.
New interactions to me.
I don't think I've done anything. All right, go.
Okay, Murktide did grow there from the Mystic Sanctuary. It was a little bit delayed, but it was completed.
I'm going to go to attack.
Shuko found by Urza Saga. Scary.
16.
I might use this.
Okay, still at 18 right now.
I thought this was a 2-1, by the way.
It kind of sucks when you first come to it, right?
Yeah. I thought I even stared at it and I thought it was a 2-1. I'll just take 2.
16.
Trigger here.
That is correct.
Okay. And then second main. This one.
That's fine.
Nomads and Core.
You
have a Nomads on. I use the floating mana. I'll try another.
Here is Nadu. Force pitching force on both sides.
Troll cycling happens.
I'll get.
Alright, let's do some regrets. Okay, have fun.
Well, this must be about to get interesting. So Shuko is going to equip to Nadu now.
It's fine.
Play this and survey.
That's fine.
I'll keep it on.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll pass to you.
At the end of your turn, I'm going to sacrifice this.
Okay, activating Shuko here. This time going to target No Man's in Korsh. And Nadu is done for the turn. Putting a whole bunch of lands in play. One of them was Otawara. Brainstorm to hand. The arrangement of everything is a little bit confusing. Okay, that's a little bit better.
And 2 cards?
And you have no graveyard. And I have 1, 2.
Construct now getting equipped. Dryad Arbor comes in. It's a creature. Delighted Halfling to hand. Now Dryad Arbor's turn. Ponder to hand. Forest to play. Insect token to Fairy to hand. Windswept Heath to play. Insect number 2. Delighted Halfling to hand. Misty Rainforest to play. So an unbelievable amount of cards gained there using the combo that turn. Going to cast Delighted Halfling now.
Second main.
Play Halfling?
It looks like we're going to continue. Windswept Heath. Green Sun Zenith to hand.
Draw my card. This goes to completion. I see what it is. I will use that and float a mana into my main stage. And I'm going to get something that makes mana because I am so desperate.
I might be able to win anyway because of nomads. I could just do it in response.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made a difference, would it?
Okay, Delighted Halfling number 2. Gonna equip it with Shuko. Delighted Halfling to hand. To Fairy to hand.
Alright, so Affinity is still 4. I'm gonna tap here.
Okay, cracking a Windswept Heath now.
Going to.
You exile the grave. Do you remember when you recast this? I'm not saying you snuck it into play, but was there when you exiled the second troll? Did you buy it back last turn?
I don't remember. I'm happy to throw it into the graveyard. I don't
want you to do that if.
That's fair.
I don't remember.
Okay, here's the Fairy Time Raveler. So all the creatures in play have already passed through the Shuko.
Would you play that instead then?
Yeah.
Oh no, I already did that. That's fine.
No, it's. I mean, you can do it.
It's fine. It's all good. We will go forward.
It costs mana though.
This is tap.
And then whatever you cast from the graveyard costs mana.
Yeah, costs mana.
Okay, so sorry about that. Right there. Okay. Yes. Okay. So now.
Yeah, Sayonara making a point that this Teferi wasn't paid for using any blue mana. I'm not sure that it was. There was a Misty Rainforest tapped there, maybe incorrectly, thinking it could make blue. Not sure. Here's a Ponder.
Affinity is 5.
Ponder Shuffle.
I'm going to get this guy. So Affinity is 5. I have 1 generic mana floating, is that correct? Yes. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Drawing a card off the Ponder. Here's another Shuko.
I do.
What's the 2?
1 blue. You did generic. Sure. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I got you.
Okay. I'm sorry I'm so bad here. Okay. I'm going to try to cast the top one.
I'll double equip.
Double equipping the construct, it looks like.
I'll flip 1, and I'll try to do this.
So since that's on the stack, it would have already counted the affinity, is that correct? Or
yeah.
Okay. Well, I have to pay?
Yeah.
Okay, I believe that was an attack for 8, and now Steven drops to 8, from what I can see.
I'm going to throw the Saga. I'm going to throw...
All right, passing turn. A whole bunch of creatures on the board. 1 Swords to Plowshares on top of the deck.
Just throw a bobble.
Probably good.
All right, Steven scoops it up. Game 1 goes to Luis.
Sorry.
I'm done.
I'll try to fatal push Emery, trigger revolt from Days.
Okay, Days went to your graveyard. That means it dies. Is that right?
Well, this land this trigger.
10-4, yep.
Gonna be
Your returns? No.
You know, people in the chat talking about Nadu. This card has a bad reputation at this point, I guess I would say. From its kind of toxic impact on Modern, and people worried that a post-Grief world will be dominated by Nadu. Don't know what the future for Nadu is. I can't say I really like the gameplay. It seemed like up until this point, not literally this match, but this moment in time, Nadu has been fine in Legacy. It hasn't been dominant or anything like that. It's no more prevalent than any other, you know, toxic cards that Legacy has, and Legacy has plenty of them. But I'm curious to see if Wizards takes any action on the combo pieces for what we Legacy players, you know, usually call the Cephalid Breakfast combo. It's kind of hard to predict where that will go, but no doubt about it, Nadu does not have many fans at this point.
It's your die. It's convenient, so I didn't bring any dice. So if I have any dice, these are Steven's, and any other dice are someone else's. So.
Okay, Windswept Heath getting cracked here.
I'm up here for work, and I'm just so happy that I know one person who put me onto all the coolest magic crap going on right now.
Yeah. How'd that go?
It was interesting. I don't know quite what I'm doing, obviously. He seems powerful. Emery seems good in the matchup if you get the...
Okay, here's Delighted Halfling. It is in. Pass the turn. Up the Beanstalk on the battlefield for Steven. May take a little bit to cash in. We saw Nadu kind of go off in game 1. Delighted Halfling could potentially allow Luis to cast a Nadu that can't be countered. Another Up the Beanstalk.
Sure. I'm also on.
I'm on 3 halflings, 3 saga, 3 so it started looking
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Fainted making a point. Nadu player seems new. Could have just replaced Nadu with another copy with Green Sun Zenith and kept going to win. Yeah, possibly. I haven't seen Luis much recently at the local, so maybe he is a little bit newer to this deck. It's a good point. Good point by Fainted.
Okay, well, I cannot force his negation then. Your choice.
Okay, here's Nomads and Core hitting the stack.
I have to take this one,
Yes, sir.
Pass to you.
Yes, sir.
Nadu on the stack. Can't be countered. It's going to resolve. All right, Nomads and Core will be the Nadu. combo here. We're going to pass through Nomads and Core first. Target itself. Delighted Halfling to hand. Urza Saga to play.
Negation pitching Thoughtcast.
This is
Now it's Delighted Halfling's turn. Ponder to hand. And Green Sun Zenith.
Sorry. Indeed.
Misty Rainforest to play.
Never mind.
There we go. Go to my turn. Gotta reanimate Gristlebrand.
Another Delighted Halfling to hand.
Force a will to Psychic.
You have yourself a nice Gristlebrand.
Alright, I'll go to 10. Yeah.
17, right? 17, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and then I'll go to 3, draw 7.
Okay, there's a Savannah. Probably going to try and put another Delighted Halfling on the battlefield and get a few more triggers here. Nope, taking a different land.
I feel as if I've been scammed.
Okay, Dryad Arbor. Just use that instead.
On the play.
First hand was a weird one, but I felt like I couldn't mulligan it, and then I saw what your hand was, and I was like,
oh no!
I don't think I have a shot.
Another copy of Green Sun Zenith to hand. Force of Will to hand. That looks like it has completed the turn. Not a bad turn at all for Luis. Going to discard the hand size now.
People they're bringing Bowmaster back, actually, because they're expecting Grief to get banned, so I'll probably be taking it out soon.
Traxa.
I'm playing Atraxa. As weird as it is, because I didn't expect this to just so good. Yeah.
It's going to be hard to beat this Nadu Nomads and Core card advantage machine on Luis' side. Even with 2 up the beanstalks might not be enough. That Steven can do realistically here. There's a Green Sun Zenith, which could find another Nadu potentially if that resolves.
Aren't they playing Grief and Vintage?
They are.
Harry says, I'm not sure why people have such a huge problem with Nadu. It's a creature that requires another card to go off. Yeah, I guess... I guess people are just not really feeling the gameplay more than anything, is my guess.
Everything seems real good with Black Lotus, but that especially.
Yeah. Alright. Drop. Okay.
Does die to removal. Does die to removal.
Keep. And
I'll keep as well.
I will hope to make it to turn 2.
Okay.
I'm going to throw the sign on.
Yeah.
Wasteland takes out Urza Saga. Something. Cracking a fetch. What do we got?
I think that I have to do this. Just see. It doesn't matter. That one there. Fine.
This one is a reanimate.
Okay. Big surprise there. And I'm also going to do this. Just look at the top. Okay, that's not good for me either.
Huh.
I'm going to draw 2. Well, it backs up that what I did was a good...
Yeah, Harry comparing the Painter Grindstone to Nadu. I think, in a way, I'm playing devil's advocate a bit here, but in a way, the Painter Grindstone ends the game. Yeah, Tech 13 said exactly what I was about to say. Painter Grindstone ends the game, but Nadu Shuko just, like, it goes on and on.
Costs too much mana for me to count.
There's Leyline Binding, 2 triggers off the beanstalks. Gonna draw 2.
Let's get another one of these out.
Still on the stack.
All right, still in the stack. We're going to activate Nomads and Core. Target itself. I think what we mean to say, Harry, is that it's not that it's more oppressive, it's just that it's more boring.
I know what you drew, and I know that card that you put in your graveyard. And you have 1 mana that you can play.
Right, I have not played only.
This sucks. I mean, I have to try to force that, which you force.
Okay, Leyline Binding is going to go after Nomads and Core here. Nomads and Core is exiled. But not before Luis draws a whole bunch of more cards and puts lands in play.
Getting Underground Sea.
Okay, a Psychic Frog for Steven. It's not very scary right now at all.
I'll target you with the weak.
Yeah, I think the Elo bot putting it perfectly. It's like having to watch someone storming to 5.5 every turn, including yours. Yeah. It's like the game doesn't end, but you have to like wait for them to take all these game actions that aren't particularly interesting every turn. All right, so it's a Fairy Time Raveler. It looks like has resolved.
Living the big life. Okay, all right. Well, I tried.
It has plus up to 5 loyalty.
We are going to never make it to 4 mana, probably.
I probably have something.
Doesn't matter.
There's Shuko.
I will play us.
It's also possible that the 1 mana, either Nomads and Core or Shuko, if we, this is hypothetical, but if we banned those 2 cards from, and we're talking mostly about Legacy here, but let's say Modern too, and I know Nomads and Core is not in Modern, but if we ban Shuko and Nomads and Core, maybe Nadu will be fine. I don't really know.
That is true, and I am done.
Thank you for 3.
Go to 16.
Yeah, this Nadu deck is up on so many cards right now. Psychic Frog just got bounced, it looks like.
Well, this is pretty bad if I can't react.
Yeah, but maybe Lightning Greaves or Outriders in Core would be slower enough. I'm not really sure. But the common denominator is obviously Nadu and maybe that card. Maybe that card has got to go at some point. I don't know. Those of you who have been hanging out with us for a long time are aware I'm not big on, like, let's ban this card. What card are we going to ban next? But Nadu is, I don't know. I can't really say I'm a fan.
Misty Rainforest. I'll attack.
Put me 13.
I'll fetch. Go to 14.
You got it.
You're gonna have Underground Sea. I'll play with Frog.
Playing the Frog. Can't do much about that.
I would much rather play against like White Plume Adventurer than Nadu personally. All right, here's Sylvan Safekeeper, Force of Will.
I'm gonna.
Not many cards left in Luis's deck. Not much time left for Steven in this game, it looks like. Just unbelievable amount of card advantage. Here's Sylvan Safekeeper. Just putting more cards in hand, more lands in play. Spring Heart and Tuco will trigger here and make an insect.
Yes, I'm just gonna attack.
I'll attack for 4.
No effects. So I got a 9.
Trigger off a frog.
Indeed.
Alright, I'm gonna
draw this, and I'll just play another frog.
Seems very good. Alright, I'm gonna draw.
I'm gonna go to discard.
Not good. Okay. Very good card.
Okay, we are going to Discord.
It is is your turn. Womp, womp, womp.
That's not bad. I'll go to tax.
I have nothing. Go to 4. Trigger twice. Are you doing
What do you have us at? I think 14, 17. Oh no, 16 because I said plus.
Powder keg. Let me think about that. Okay. So right now it's going to merge the Mox. Is that right?
The Mox in the sea.
No mana on the sea. Good call.
You have a lot of forces in your game. I have at least one that you know. At least one that I know.
There's one known force of will in hand.
Cool. Yep.
Veil of Summer, other copies of Nadu.
Crying. Can I live another turn? I don't think I can, but.
I can't imagine there's anything in Steven's deck that actually, like, on this turn prevents the game from ending on the following turn.
Okay, I'm going to Odawara. Do I have enough mana to do what I do? And what?
Okay, Leyline Binding, draw 2.
I'm going to target my seat, I guess. That makes sense, right?
Can you target
Can I
a
not
land?
do that? It's an artifact.
Is it saying non-land?
It does not.
Oh, how is Odawara worded? That's so interesting.
Going after Teferi Time Raveler. Teferi is trapped under a Leyline Binding. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
There's a Haywire Might on the battlefield, which Luis points at.
Yeah.
This is going to die. These are tapped.
No.
I'm at 4, so. And you have how many cards in hand? 6. And you have a bunch of cards in your graveyard? I'm going to scoop them up to you, buddy.
I think I could have gone for lethal last time.
No, it's fine. Those are fun games.
Okay, replaying the Frog. It's not likely to do a whole lot here.
Yeah, that's fun.
We need to, like, Supreme Verdict there or something.
So are you getting
Oh yeah. And your turn.
And your turn, get back to Fairy, fetch and response. Highwire Might sacked, targeting the Leyline Binding, holding Teferi hostage right now. Tundra and Stifle, okay. Okay.
And, but you ripped it apart. Good job.
Yeah, I was thinking about whether to take Flute or Burst.
So Teferi Time Raveler will remain trapped under Leyline Binding. We're going to fetch here.
I didn't need it because I already cast 2. So I thought if I took Flute, you could shut down Wasteland.
And then that's what I took out, which seemed too slow. That's all that did. So
Yeah. Capital Cannon because I can just
It doesn't matter. It's really smaller than Gristlebrand and all that. Just doesn't matter.
Yeah, you kind of want to answer my graveyard and then win.
Making some insects. There they are.
That's good. Fun game.
Springheart and Tuco triggers. All right, Luis on taps. This is going to be probably a big turn.
I mean, Reanimate just blows me out, and so it's like, I don't know. That's what I was
Just a Fairy Time Raveler. There's a Saga has ticked up.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to activate it to do that, but it would keep you from playing it, I guess. I hadn't thought about that.
It would keep you from playing.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I think I'm way more afraid of Reanimate.
Yeah.
Bounce the Frog, draw a card.
Gristlebrand a few times, but
Yeah, I mean, it's just genius.
You have a Maya, make an insect.
You're at 13, right? I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then the other shooter.
Okay, so showing 13 damage on the board apparently, and that is the match. Luis gets it. GG's. Oh, man. It felt like we were watching Expressive Iteration again, right, everybody? What about the play patterns? All right. We will be live again tomorrow. Same place, same time. Be here tomorrow for more exciting legacy. We're going to wrap it up here now. Stick around for a raid. We're going to do a raid here. You'll get some channel points for sticking around. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And again, be here tomorrow. Join our Discord if you're not in there yet. And that's it. I mean, say hello on the way in. Peace out.